Yes, my dear friends, welcome back to the channel. Very good morning to you guys all out there, wherever you are, around the globe, on the continent of Africa, in Europe, in America, Canada, Australia, or right in Southeast Asia. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a beautiful Monday morning. Oh yes, but it's the most difficult day of the week. It is not easy to wake up Monday morning and get to the office, right? But hey guys, we have to do it. Yesterday, I decided to take a little break. The body was actually weak. Yes, yesterday being exactly 1 week. 1 week that Chelsea won the trophy, the Club World Cup. I took a rest. That is why I didn't come your way yesterday, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you forgive me for not letting you know. But hey, sometimes the body needs to take a little rest. And that is exactly what I did. Because I was so tired, I was so weak. I wish even today I am still off. But hey guys, the news kept coming on. We are in a transfer window, and so I'm here to give you a quick update. What has actually transpired over the weekend. Few things I will talk about because it's your breakfast, and I'll be taking much of your time. I will not be taking much of your time. In the next 7-8 minutes, I'll be out of this place. Quickly, let's start from Jadon Sancho. Ladies and gentlemen, Jadon Sancho to Juventus. Here we go. Juventus have reached an agreement with Manchester United. Yes, to sign Jadon Sancho for £15 million only. The same Jadon Sancho that Chelsea was to activate the release clause of about £22 million. Nobody else is coming in, and United have no choice. The players want to go. £15 million to Juventus. Personal terms have been agreed on a 4-year contract worth £5 million a season plus bonuses. £5 million a season plus bonuses for Jadon Sancho. Ladies and gentlemen, doing my calculations, it means that Jadon Sancho took a pay cut of almost about 250%. Or let's just say 200% pay cut. Yes, if from what we heard that Jadon Sancho's normal salary in United is it £300,000 a week. Now, ladies and gentlemen, from what we are receiving, Sancho will be receiving, based on the reported agreement, £5 million a season or a year. Means that Jadon Sancho is taking $416,667 a month, divided that by 4 weeks. Divide this amount by 4 weeks. It means Jadon Sancho is receiving just about £104,000 or £105,000 a week. Was this the amount Chelsea could not afford to pay Jadon Sancho? Ladies and gentlemen, from my report, from a reliable source, it is understood that Chelsea was offering Sancho in the range of £9 million, around £9 million a week. A season, which is around £200,000 a week. Between 180 and £200,000 a week, plus bonuses, plus and minuses, 180,000 to 180,000. To £200,000 a week was just what Chelsea was offering Sancho, and that was turned down. Now he has no choice. He couldn't go to Turkey. Juventus came in, and Juventus they are not that financially buoyant enough. They are giving him £105,000 a week, $416,667 a month. Ladies and gentlemen, sometimes, like they say in my place, no baby, no blame, a boy, attach on my ball. If you reject the wings, you might not end up. If you reject the ties, you might not end up getting the wings. Ladies and gentlemen, somehow I'm forgetting my own language. Forgive me. All right, quickly, let's move on. Jadon Sancho to Juventus. Here we go. £5 million per season. £5 million per season. Now, we understand Barcelona have sent. Okay, before I go to that. Yes. Renato Viega is still expected to leave Chelsea this summer with a permanent move anticipated. Now, there are 3 clubs that are in the race for Renato Viega, the defender we signed last season. Clubs, Atletico Madrid, they are the first in line. Bayern Munich are equally interested, plus some Premier League clubs. Chelsea won a package of about £35 million for Viega, and talks continue as we speak. The player Chelsea bought is £11 million or so, £12 million last season. Now we are selling him for £35 million. Atletico Madrid, they are the front runners for Renato Viega as we speak. Ladies and gentlemen, huge profit for Chelsea in that regard. Petrovic, yes, we understand his deal has been sealed and he is gone for 25 million. We bought Petrovic, how much? 14 million last season. Chelsea bought Petrovic 14 million. We sold him for 25 million this season. For Bournemouth, right? We bought Noni Madueke for 29 million pounds. Chelsea bought Noni Madueke 29 million pounds. And guess what? We sold him to Arsenal 52 million pounds. This club, we bought Renato Viega for 12 million pounds and we are selling him for 35 to 40 million pounds. Roughly 60 million profits for at least maximum for these players. 60 million profit for these three players that I mentioned alone, at least. Viega, we understand, is still expected to leave. And just imagine the amount. At least 60 million Chelsea is making from these players alone. Profit, in terms of profit. Ladies and gentlemen, we understand Atletico Madrid. Well, let me see. Okay. So Atletico Madrid have now made direct contact with Renato Viega's camp, and the player is keen on the move. Chelsea insists on a package worth at least 40 million euros to sell Viega. That is about 35 million pounds, ladies and gentlemen. Now, before we continue, Newcastle United, Villarreal and Juventus have all made enquiries and are in the race to sign Chelsea defender Axel Disasi. Newcastle, Villarreal and Juventus have all made enquiries on Chelsea defender Axel Disasi, 27 years old, according to Fabrice Hoskin. Ladies and gentlemen, according to Fabrice Hoskin, I'm trying to give you all about Chelsea before I go to some other news. That is what I'm trying to do. Strasbourg have agreed. Strasbourg, our sister club, yes, have agreed a deal to sign Mamadou Sarr on loan from Chelsea. It is here we go. The defender is back to Strasbourg as we speak, according to Fabrizio Romano. According to Fabrizio Romano, Strasbourg have taken Mamadou Sarr back on loan. Yes, he's just 19-year-old, so he's still developing. He's one of those defenders that I don't think Chelsea will be willing to sell right now, if anything at all. Not now, ladies and gentlemen. Now, that is in Chelsea front as we speak. Now, it is understood that this just ended Club World Cup. Ladies and gentlemen, this ended Club World Cup that Chelsea came out victorious, got over 2 billion people that viewed the matches live for free. 2 billion people viewed matches of the FIFA Club World Cup for free through DAZN. You know the site, right? For free, according to FIFA report. 2 billion people viewed the games for free through DAZN, according to FIFA report. Ladies and gentlemen, now let me conclude with some other news. Manchester United have held talks with Nicola Jackson representative Ali Barat over a potential move, according to Niza Kinzela. Manchester United held talks. No Champions League football. If my boy is to go there, no Champions League football this season. But how are they building at all? Would there be a hope that by next season, Manchester United have the ability to qualify for Champions League? The top 4 race this season will be very tough with the way other clubs have strengthened. Chelsea, if you look at the kind of attacks we have right now, including Gittins, when I continue to watch Gittins' style of play, I just realized that Chelsea, we have lots of firepower. If only he will deliver. He's coming from the Bundesliga, so I don't have so much faith in him. No. I don't have so much faith in him, but looking at this, his skill set. And hey guys, have you seen what Kudus did in his first game for Tottenham? He was everywhere on the pitch. It just pained me that Chelsea could not sign him. Kudus, go back and watch his first game for Tottenham. I think they won 3-0 or so. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is what it is. It is what it is. Nicolas Jackson to Manchester United. Wow. Ali Barat, that is the agent that is working on that deal. For me, I know Jackson is still going to be staying. He's not going anywhere this season. He's not going anywhere this season. Well, to some other news, Barcelona have sent official bid in the morning of yesterday to Manchester United for Marcus Rashford. Official bid sent by Barcelona to Manchester United for Marcus Rashford. Internal meeting took place in the last 24 hours as Luis Diaz's deal considered too expensive, plus Barca convinced to go for Marcus. Deal well underway and also approved by Hans Flick. Rashford to Barcelona, the guy I know he would pick up for. He will pick up for. When in terms of Rashford's physical condition, he's on top-notch, condition. The kind of training from the gym, plus his skill set, if his mindset can be cleared, the guy will explode in Spain. Yeah, because Spain, the league is not that physical as the Premier League. And knowing Marcus Rashford's flair, his skill set, I know he will flourish in Spain. Ladies and gentlemen, yeah, he will flourish in Spain. All right, let me quickly end up with the biggest news of all from outside Chelsea. Ladies and gentlemen, Victor James Osimhen rejected 2 top European clubs plus the Saudis to return to Galatasaray, according to his friend Buchilaba. Yes, he made it very clear to Napoli that he wants to return back to Turkey. Somewhere he gave Galatasaray his word that he won't leave in January 2025 when he was on loan. He told them they are his priority and thumbs up to those who did this deal for Galatasaray. They worked serious magic, according to his friend Buchilaba. Ladies and gentlemen, Victor James Osimhen, I didn't know his name is also James. I had a friend by name Victor James. Yeah, I have a very good friend by name Victor James. He's a Nigerian. I mean, he was in Malaysia here with us before. Victor James Osimhen to Galatasaray on a permanent move. Final agreement reached between Napoli and Galatasaray for 75 million euros. Yeah, as Galatasaray meet all conditions. Galatasaray finally met all conditions set by Napoli after the 5th offer. That was their 5th attempt. My goodness. Napoli get 10% of future sale of Victor Osimhen to anywhere. Napoli will still have 10% of that. Victor battled Napoli to accept the 5th offer. It was a tug of war. Yes. Next, to make plans for medicals. Hopefully this week, that should be taking place and it will be declared. Here we go. Here we go. More information soon. Galatasaray are closing in on Victor Osimhen deal. Here we go soon. 40 million immediate payments. 35 million in 1 year. 5 million in add-ons based on goals. 10% sell-on clause on future profit. Clause to avoid sale to Italian clubs next 2 years. Also included. Wow. Verbal agreement in place. This deal, ladies and gentlemen. Finally, Victor has won a home. Well, Galatasaray, congratulations to you guys. As for the goals, he will bank in a goal because the Turkish league is relatively easier than the British or the English Premier League. Yes, of course, we all know that. So he will bank in the goals there very well, just as he did for them last season. Ladies and gentlemen, on that note, I'm back and I should be back once again for more comprehensive and exclusives in the coming hours. See you guys all in the next one when you see me. Shalom and peace.